operationalize pasar ni. Alright, the first common issues with pasar. Okay, Charlie, selalunya you pakai pasar checklist daripada mana?
We have our own pasar checklist.
You own pasar checklist?
Yeah.
A generic pasar checklist?
Kira untuk in-house punya lah.
In-house punya?
Teknologi punya pasar checklist.
Okay. How about Carol?
Kami downstream pasar ada, downstream PCG, kami pakai standardized pasar seluruh plant PCG, bukan downstream gitu ya, PCG. Jadi macam contoh, saya pergi TFK, atau saya pergi amonia,
Okay.
atau saya pergi Samur, PCG,
Okay.
sama.
Semua sama pasar?
Sama pasar. Cuma praktis, kalau macam MLNG, praktis dia lain. Tapi lebih kurang sebab dia downstream kan. Yang main topik cara sama lah. Dia baseline dia bagi, tapi praktis OPU ada berbeza-beza. Dia ada lain-lain. Dia based on practice. Kalau pergi similar plant, contoh Metamnol and PFK, 95% sama. Form yang kita pakai sama. Sebab merujuk pada pasar, setiap equipment yang dibuka mesti ada pasar.
Setiap equipment?
Setiap vessel equipment yang dibuka mesti ada pasar.
Maksudnya mesti ada pasar checklist yang, I mean, setiap equipment tu ada pasar checklist sendiri.
Untuk
pasar, ada equipment A, ada equipment B. So equipment A ada checklist yang berbeza daripada equipment B.
Dia bagi tahu sana, okay, sebelum kita buka equipment tu, kita akan ada list dalam pasar tu, okay, equipment mana yang buka. Kita tak ambil turnaround ni, kita ambil pit stop. Untuk pit stop banyak, dalam plan banyak equipment kan. Kita terpaksa stop sekejap plan kita untuk pergi exchange. Okay.
I faham. You mention setiap equipment tu mesti ada pasar. Cuma maksud
equipment dia di dalam.
So checklist dia sama sajalah. Tapi checklist yang sama untuk A, satu generic untuk A, B, C dan semua lah. Tajuk okey lah, tapi dia checklist.
Checklist tu sama.
Sama, okey. Tak boleh nak verify dengan Iraq dengan ni, tak ada.
Jadi macam sahabat kita MLNG, dia ada praktis dia. Tapi basic sama kan? Ya, sama. Cuma kalau di PCG, dia praktis ke ya, kalau pasar tak close, kita tak boleh start plan. Walaupun yang lain-lain ready, tapi ada satu equipment belum ready. Tapi kalau kita buat risk assessment, okay, by TC committee cakap, kita boleh waive, kita akan isi ni, deviate form.
Oh.
Yes.
TC tu apa? Technical Committee.
Lah.
Oh, ada
dalam PCG, kalau shutdown plan, kita panggil ada satu grup, semua TP dalam tu. Semua TP PCG dalam tu. So, kalau in case macam, for example, kami punya flare tips crack, okay, kita bawa pergi MS meeting, semua TP dari plan, semua time dari 13 biji plan, berkumpul dalam tu. Masing-masing agree ke tak, kita run dengan flare tips crack. Yes, dan result tu kalau semua cakap agree, jalan.
Tapi itu bukan deviate from pasar checklist lah. Kalau pasar tu kata kena action tu kena close lah. Dia bukan deviate pasar punya action lah kan.
Bukan lah.
So itu more to maybe emosi ke apa ke.
Dia more to form untuk, sebab kadang-kadang kalau dalam pasar kan, piping yang tak ada clamp, pipe support yang tak ada clamp pun masuk dalam. Masuk dalam tu. Contoh exchanger, dibuat activity, kita pasang checklist, kita tahu ada clamp, mesti pasang semua clamp. Kadang-kadang dia kalau tak pasang, satu tak pasang, takkanlah nak full startup lah. So benda-benda begitulah, dia kena agree by TC. Tak mahal lah untuk startup tu. Sama macam yang saya nampak MLNG lah. Dan kadang-kadang dia deviate sikit, tapi agreed by technical committee.
Oh, you aware MLNG punya?
Dia MNC antara bisnes yang besar lah. Jadi kami kadang-kadang belajar daripada dia orang lah.
Oh.
Sebab dia contoh sekarang yang lagi padu FLNG lah. Jika saya pergi SEAL, System Instrumentation and Safeguard dekat FLNG. Dia orang dahsyat sebab FLNG ni sekarang ni dia betul-betul teknologi. Siapa-siapa nak latest up pergi sana.
Masih.
That's why kami request kadang-kadang pergi.
Oh.
Lihat macam mana dia punya sistem.
Masih.
Proses sama je, lebih kurang.
Sekarang dia dekat Sabah kan?
Sekarang dia sedang buat set LNG ni yang baru. Semua pergi Sabah lah semua. Satu pergi Argentina.
Okay, betul. So I think whatever mentioned by you and MLNG is common practice. Kita pakai generic pasar. So let's say ini one of your equipment, you shut down lah. Shut down, you buat pasar, okay, shut down. But this shutdown is because of you add another new things, something you tambah. So, before startup, checklist apa yang kita pakai?
PSSR.
Ha? Apa dia? Tak dengar.
PSSR.
PSAR? Pasal lah.
Sama.
Ha? Apa dia?
PSSR.
Oh, so bukan pasal lah. Yang apa panggil ni?
Dia mother dia pasal.
Okay.
Ini anak dia.
Oh, apa konten dia?
Konten dia lebih kurang macam yang, tapi dia more to safety one lah. Kemudian
Okay, now, because of this, ada additional kan? You think that generic punya pasal checklist tu cukup ke tak? Tak cukup lah. So, what should be considered into your checklist? That's why dalam pasal pun dia sebut about, dalam pasal dokumen dia ada generic pasal checklist. And the one that mentioned dalam appendix tu is sample. Dia tak kata ini adalah the checklist. And it did mention we need to customize it. So macam mana nak customize? With this, dah shut down. And then we add another equipment. Chemical injection for example. So what should be considered with this additional new equipment? Any guess? So number one, of course lah, pasal checklist. Okay, yang the generic tu. Balik PASR. So
Di FLNG pakai SSP ya? SSP tak?
apa tu SSP?
Startup Shutdown Procedure.
Okay lah. So you need to refer to your OP.
Dia
Betul?
SSP sebelum kita pergi pasar, kita kena ada SSP dulu. SSP ada dua. Operation to maintenance, maintenance to operation. Contoh, vessel, exchanger. Kita nak bagi sekian-sekian hari bulan, besok kita nak bagi ke maintenance. Satu SSP. Apabila kita release cert SSP, ni dalam PCG lah, memang dia 100% boleh katakan 100% safe. So, management akan lihat, akan tengok, okay, SSP, tengok. Dia tak tanya lah, untuk EIS, gas, venting, purging, dia tak tanya lah. Dia nampak SSP, agree, ada, up, dia akan ambil, dia akan buat kerja tu esok. Itu SSP. Apabila dia nak return to operation, dia sama ya, kami akan minta SSP.
Okay. So that SSP considered macam part of generic punya pasal lah. Of course, you kena make sure isolation, purging and so on. And of course, sebab pasal is generic. Equipment A, B, C semua generic. Actually, in any pasal, you kena refer OP juga. Mungkin dalam pasal generic tu dia kata ada OP untuk ni macam ni kan. Kan pasar ni kita nak pastikan the sequence. Macam kes BP Texas tu, the valve apa benda, drain valve ke, dah buka ke belum, for example. So dalam pasar perhaps it will set the process line up as per OP, that's all. But certain line up is complicated, that's why kalau you boleh customize kan, you dah kata ini equipment A, pasar untuk equipment A, you tambahlah step by step. Line valve dah buka, ini dah tutup, sini dah lock open and so on. So you need to refer to OP actually for all. Now with this additional chemical injection kan, of course we need to refer what are the risk assessment. Risk assessment mungkin dalam pasar ni it just stated all the risk assessment already closed, for example. But itulah, that is the common finding. Because people not really look at the detail. So it's good that anything, perhaps certain risk assessment ni have specific requirement for this new setup. For example, dalam risk assessment tu kata kena ada standby fire watcher. So you must put in your pasar fire watcher already standby. For example lah, as easy as that lah. Or maybe more complicated than that. So we have pasar, OP, risk assessment, and maybe another one, at least because this is new equipment, so we must refer to the manufacturer. What are the manufacturer advice for us to link this, to start up the new equipment, the equipment with the new chemical injection? There could be certain thing. Search for the critical information that for the startup ni. Without this, something can happen. So at least these three lah. I tak pasti MNG, tapi when I look at upstream, the pasar checklist is very generic. Too generic, and it sometimes not relevant lah kan. Okay, manufacturer ni is include, maybe dia ada kata to operate this, it must be competent person. The guy must be trained with A, B, C. So you put in your customized pasar, people already trained with this competency A, B, C and whatnot. So if all tick, then only you can proceed. So what are the cases that you boleh proceed without all pasar close? Macam tadi Khairul ceritakan. So actually dalam pasar PTS dia ada mention kategori A and B, if not mistaken. A is something that impact. Kalau you tak buat, something happen. So for example, valve tak tutup. Kalau selagi valve tak tutup, tak boleh lah. So kategori A, you cannot apply for exemption ke apa. You must close this. Kategori B, nothing impact on the process or the startup, then maybe we can do it later. For example, painting. Okay lah, you dah start up, lepas tu baru nak painting, tak ada hal. Ataupun to check the lighting. You dah run the genset, baru boleh tengok lampu. So okay lah, that one. That one okay. You can do it later. But still we need to identify what are the deadline. Because we cannot forever open. So that is why pasar checklist is one of the document. Another document is pasar report. Pasar report kena ada. Because this pasar checklist involve certain discipline. So to check on the summary of everything, we must refer to pasar report. Another thing that we should refer is pasar logbook. Kan? Perhaps currently we using the electronic kan. As long as ada. And number 4 yang penting adalah pasar action item lah. Okay? And okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
For the rig move, for example,
Okay.
it's required Basar or not? I mean, here.
In PMA,
Because, for example, we in Iraq we don't do Basar for rig move because it's operated by contractor. But I mean, if the rig is operated directly by the Tronas, they will do Basar for after rig move. I mean, or before the rig move.
you mean rig down?
Rig move or skidding because it's for major restart or plant and handover for major project. Major project. Let's be an example. The Christmas tree.
Okay.
Christmas tree. After handed over, let's say from drilling, because the drilling when they finish and completion, they put the Christmas tree and they want to hand over, for example, for project
Yeah.
later for operation. Maybe they do better.
Okay, so because
But I mean, this because now the Christmas tree it's become under Petronas control. It's no longer under the contractor. That's why they will do better. But let's say now here in Petronas, okay, they have rigs which operated by Petronas. Before rig move, do they do Basar or no need?
okay, so for PMA we only have offshore rig. So we call it rig down lah. Before
No problem. And offshore maybe they will just move it from one location to another location.
but still required pasar. For
So
us,
they do.
yes, for us because we are for offshore. For land onshore drilling, I'm not sure what is the setup. I never experienced with land. You are land kan? You only Iraq we have land drilling, onshore drilling right?
In Iraq only onshore, we don't have offshore. Okay, so for major restart, maybe in CBF, for example.
Okay.
Handover, like I mentioned to you, and maintenance. Maintenance, what kind of maintenance? The small maintenance or the big maintenance? Which type of maintenance we speak about here?
Okay.
Because the maintenance is done on daily basis, but sometimes for small, maybe equipment, something. But this maintenance, I think he mentioned maintenance for
Okay.
something big.
Based on what my guru lah, in Petronas mentioned, everything before you want to start ataupun before you start the activity required pasar, including this is Petronas guru told me, you want to start your car, you require pasar or not? This what being asked during my TPCP. I said, oh need lah boss.
You will not.
No, he said you need pasar. But the way we conduct pasar is not official like this lah. You need to check the mirror. That is pasar, they said. So they said everything. If start up the car, said pasar. How about the others? Okay, for example, for well intervention, they want to do the skidding from well A to well B, for example. Of course, they don't have specific pasar because we use it for startup only. This one just to skid. But that thing also covered by certain OP, risk assessment and BSCPD, bypass. Because when they do well intervention, we give the control to the wells. But because of we in operation, our terminology of pasar is anything startup and shut down. Startup, shut down. Skidding, there's nothing of startup. Of course, you have your own genset startup, which is they said covered by well intervention OP. So this is something similar to pasar because they did assessment. Everything lined up, everything.
So maybe the Basar can't take another names. For example, you mentioned even the guys told you even you want to
Startup
start
car, yeah.
So let's say the crane operator before he starts every day he have checklist,
yeah.
Engine. So but it's not Basar.
It's not pasar. Yeah, this one specific for our process facility.
Yeah, but Basar for not small equipment. I understand it's for big, maybe big process area or something like this. major equipment or have major criticality, something like this. So the maintenance is not for something. An example, let's say we have a generator.
Okay.
Okay, we want to stop maintenance now. Start, don't require BASA because this is just generator.
For generator in plant they have anything equipment belong to plant they have PASA. Your price is the same?
Only for start or shutdown.
How about genset? Genset. They're talking about genset. You have?
No,
Yes.
my point. I just need to understand. I just need to understand that BASA is for big things or even for the small things. This is my point. I just need to understand.
Okay. Big thing clear.
Of course.
Okay. So now they're talking about how about generator.
Yeah.
Generator, you want to
We
start.
have 4 generators. One of them require maintenance.
So you want to start up. So require PASA or not? So under PASA for upstream, we have 2 types. One they call PASA 1, one is PASA 2. So for PASA 2 is the small thing. They still required. They under our PASA still required, but it's not that extensive. It's enough like a risk assessment for you to start up. They have a generic. It's become like a checklist as well, even for the generator. That what I know lah, yang I nampak. Kan? But okay, now let's say, how about if I want to not for maintenance, for crane, for utilities, it's normal. You want to start, you want to change from one genset to one genset. Required startup or not? PASA or not? That one is not, because it's covered by OP. In our OP already mentioned, and it's covered by
By the previous checklist.
what they call it, switching procedure, something, electrical procedure on the genset. They have it. Everything on the electrical, they have procedures. So that is why still actually we have what we call pre-activity, but it's not so called of PASA checklist. But for maintenance, even genset pun we have. They call it PASA 2 lah. PASA 1 and PASA 2. PASA 1, the one that more detail or whatnot. PASA 2 is enough by the OIM approval. No need require PASA leader or whatnot lah. That's what I understand. Anything? Tak perlu. So maintenance of PASA, you ada tukar apa semua?
Untuk genset
Genset, let's say genset baru masuk.
Genset tu sewa lah.
Sewa.
Sewa okay. Proses dia untuk bawa masuk, kita kena inspect. Special team akan check. To ensure that genset fit to run and follow our PTS standard lah.
Okay.
They can check and then they release one sticker. Release fit untuk masuk plant.
Okay.
First. Second, apabila dah masuk, untuk run benda tu, genset covered by PTW ya. Sama. Ability sama. Yes, covered by PTW. Hot work.
Kalau genset ada electrical on-site test lagi.
Electrical, kalau kita nak pakai genset electrical, dia ada lagi satu peti. Portable electrical
Temporary. Alright.
installation.
So that petty consists of 2 things. One is tagging, check. Another one is to check the installation. The connection is right. So it's some sort, any electrical, they have a specific test lah to make sure, okay, selamat. So, but most of them miss the installation checking. They thought petty is just sticker, okay, green. No, when they at site, they install the cabling, the connection. They must get another installation certificate. Ada.
Drawing segalanya.
Tak, I mean selalu bila I check, that one of my favourite lah, sebab selalu I pancing tu selalu dapat tangkap. People usually not do that. But as an advice to Ali, maybe perhaps we need to, I'm not sure because we are different OPU, different location, different practice. Try to check, ask them, when in order for us to suggest, we need to educate. What if if we not really check on startup of the car, for example, there's no procedure or any genset, what are the impact? If it's huge, it can impact our our major accident. Then try to ask them, what is our control? What are something that similar to this process? If totally no, no, the contractor just go there, plug in everything, and then it's questionable. We should tell them, I think we should introduce PASA. If anything, contractor bring in their equipment ke apa ke. If, especially those in our process area or whatnot. That's how we do lah. We don't want to be too rigid, too prescriptive, because each location is different and so on, onshore, offshore, upstream and downstream. But the idea is to make sure that those activities involved with our process area, really covered what are the control barrier in place lah. Especially want to start up, involve the ular. What's the ular? The hydrocarbon. The snake, the hi. Anything with this, if we are not sure, you introduce new chemical injection but you're not sure, that chemical perhaps will corrode our piping or whatnot, we're not sure. So, better stop first. Let's do this pasal lah. Okay? Alright? Ali? Alright. So, next. We finish 4 lah kan? Tak payah stop dulu lah kan? OP. Early this morning, we also touched about OP. OP need assessment. People always thought that OP itu specific. And OP for equipment, no. I'm not sure downstream, but OP is based on the whole train. So, with those OP, you need also to digest lah a bit. Let's say, you nak isolate certain equipment on your train, vessel. You tak boleh ambil bulat-bulat daripada OP tu, kan? You need to some sort of have certain understanding on how to read your OP. Or the best is you need your operation team to translate the OP content. Kalau saya pun tak kerti. I memang before this I thought, oh ada OP. Nak cabut ni ada OP. No, it's not like that lah. What I understand, OP is by the whole train by train lah. Betul ke? But Iraq have a very detailed OP. I'm quite impressed but I'm not sure how they link from one OP. For example, you have a big startup, the whole plan. How you link all lah. And again, it required operation punya expertise to line up based on all the OP. But in PMA, is quite the strategy is quite in a train by train. Okay. So we have normal, abnormal, and upset. So why we need to conduct OPNA, OP need assessment. So from the OP need assessment, we able to prioritize which OP need to be reviewed first. Which OP is considered as abnormal, emergency, and so on lah. Okay. So another common finding on OP is on the training. You have OP, but if you did not cascade the information, you tak communicate, so there's no point. People are not aware. People not aware pun is actually for pigging operation required PTW until JIA come and told you, your pigging not as per OP lah. In your OP mentioned to have PTW. Why? Because we thought ada OP no need PTW kan, so salah. So another, usually I laju sikit. If anything you want further clarification, you ask me. I just try to explain what are the common gap lah selalunya. Okay, I mentioned about training. another issues that, oh, suddenly your operator pun show, this year I have OP training, but that kind of, another cheating lah, I said cheating is, they provide OP training on the general training. What is OP? OP have this, but not specific a briefing of that OP. What we want here, to make sure our operation is safe, the briefing of the of the specific OP, how to operate the plant, what is the process, what are the procedure. So dalam list cantik, oh semua dah attend OP training, but it's not specific. It's actually general OP. OP kena ini, OP kena tu, make sure yang ni.
Yang kalau di upstream,
Yeah,
siapa yang buat OP?
it's under process safety. Under process safety. I think sama kan downstream pun? Lain Siapa?
Prosedur use discipline, PUB.
Oh, okay. Tapi siapa yang pegang proses safety kan? Custodian dia.
Custodian di proses
Yang check ni.
PSM akan check sama ada OP ke tak.
So,
Untuk start equipment, untuk start unit ni. Mesti ada OP dia. Sebab dia banyak equipment dalam ni.
okay, right.
Mesti ada OP dia. Kalau di upstream, siapa yang create OP tu? Bila
Okay.
masa nak start pump, bila masa nak tengok flow, bila kita nak start fan. Kalau di upstream, siapa yang authority yang buat OP?
Create OP. Tapi all OP is based on advice by process safety. We have list of OP prioritization or whatnot. But of course, the one that create is by operation lah. TP operation and so on. Cuma yang advice, yang check, yang expired apa semua is part of process safety KPI lah. One of it. I think that one same. Semua sama. Cuma yang buat tu mungkin sana you said PUD kan. Of course sama juga HAC case. Process safety. But bukan process safety yang buat. They of course required MCI, operation, apa semua. Tapi somehow is under process safety. OMOC, under safety, but bukan safety buat. Kita just facilitate the session.
Kalau MLNG, siapa yang buat OP? Authority, bukan prosedur yang buat tu buat ni.
Ya, biasanya buat OP tu area owner lah.
Executive or
Operation lah.
Dia punya process engineer.
Okay.
Jadi
Executive lah, executive. Sekarang shift to talent.
Jadi praktis downstream ni sama lah. Dia tak bagi, walaupun panel tu memang multi, kadang-kadang yang tekan buat OP ni, contoh engineers datang buat OP, kadang dia tak tahu dalam. Dia tahu mendalam is panel tu. Contoh kan, panel. Panel man PCG practice downstream, dia tak allow non-executive buat OP.
Tak lah.
Tak allow kan? Tak allow.
But again, they involve lah. They involve. They can always dalam satu workshop. Dia bukan seorang-seorang executive buat seorang. Dia pasti dalam workshop. Panggil semua.
Dalam workshop, dia panggil, dia wine lah. Tapi tak tahu lah kenapa dalam posisi jadi begitu.
So, when you mention about the executive tu, is the accountable person saja. Tapi dia kena buat tu mesti involve semua juga. So you tak boleh lah tak accountable to panel man. Matilah dia kerja harian dia tu. So of course this all paperwork we give to executive, but of course dia akan get other non-exec semua involved.
Dan dia punya approval tu PLM. Orang manager.
Ya rasa salah. Terus nak tanya upstream, siapa dari mana yang start buat OP ni?
Start what?
Yang create OP tu, yang adjust OP tu.
Oh, sama. Tu I said sama juga, because when I audit MTBE semua memang yang focal dia process safety, because it's under process safety KPI. Yang buat writer dia memang you kasa panggil operation lah, you panggil apa? Field engineer kan, sama. Cuma they will get involved as well, all those technician, TTS especially, dia orang lagi tahu how to operate. Our HAC case, semua ni, I seronok kalau TTS join. TTS banyak membantu, dia tahu lah, dalam luar. Kalau tak ada TTS susah sikit. Tapi itulah, TTS pun semakin pupus. Makin pupus, TTS pun sudah cabut. I think the best way is they should review lah TTS. Should maintain TTS tapi upgrade lah. Kan? That's why people don't see the luxury become TTS. You dah tak boleh pergi site. Itu kan? We found difficulty. Even we suggest to capability. Why not? You give contract to those yang dah nak pension retire tu, sambunglah. Tak boleh dah umur 60. Kita tak ada cukup orang ni.
Cakap macam saya ni, nak offer suruh convert sebab tak laga dinding kan.
Yalah.
Yang page saya ni dia offer convert sebab dia
Lepas tu tak ada berganti sudah. Hilang berganti.
masalah dia.
It's same. TTS is one of in term of competency problem lah dalam Petronas ni, upstream ke downstream. Kita kurang orang. Satu TTS tu dekat PMA berapa banyak location. Kan? Lepas tu kalau buat HCC case semua, tak ada kerja lain lah dia. HCC case je lah. Kan? Kalau nak suruh untuk bagi training pun dia juga. Apa lagi? So I'm not sure what are the solution, but we already passed lah. I think the management already recognize the issue. But how fast we solve it? The best, one of the suggestion is need to upgrade TTS punya box tu. Make it more luxury kan. Dia dah macam exact juga tu. Dia bagi training, dia office, dia do all this planning work. Why can't we upgrade kan? But I'm not sure lah, maybe HR ke apa ke. Tapi bila aku tengok, VP boleh pula umur lebih 60. Kontrak lagi kan? Boleh pula.
Dia mau nak
Kontrak basis.
Most of them.
akan 60 ke bawah ke? 60 lebih umur.
Safety, Encik Busari, umur berapa dia? Kontrak, extend 2 kontrak, umur 60 lebih. Apa? 60 lebih last kali.
Dia 2 kali kan?
2 kali last kali 60 lebih. So hari ni farewell. Tengok Encik Busari dalam grup. Besok tu, congratulations Encik Busari. Jadi advisor. Siapa tu? I tak tahu sekarang operation. Contohnya Encik safety manager, safety head dulu siapa? Hitam tu. Pernah duduk MLNG juga tu. Bukan. Pun ada lagi. Semua ada. Haji Amin. Ada lagi. Ada lagi dia ni. Tiba-tiba ada engagement. Ada lagi. Advisor ni. So, I mean, if we really think TTS is important lah, kenapa tak boleh? Kan? Tu atas bos belaka lah. Mana tahu nanti aku dekat atas pun sama juga. Tak boleh. Okay. That's, I think, we all facing the same challenges lah. Kan? But the thing is, we should not stop continuously speak up lah. They understand. HR pun macam, capability pun macam, I tak tahulah apa barrier dia. They recognize it. This issue. Management cakap, ni TTS kosong ni, kena isi. Okay. Alright. Let's move on. Okay. Major fire at Petronas Export Terminal ni dekat mana Tahukah?
2014.
I try to search, I tak jumpa. Okay. I ambil bekok je. One of bekok punya incident. Bekok sea fire during in 2010 or 28, the major fire. What happened? The blowdown is not properly line up. Okay. See, dia punya barrier banyak fail. Satu, piping memang dah corroded. Replacement pipe sudah sampai 1 year before, lay on the laydown area pun dah berkarat. Just imagine how corroded the piping. The supporting column being removed during Exxon. no changes reported. The piping line also there's a changes. They should do some through something, but it's being removed. And then the lineup. Certain valve was not lined up properly, meaning that it's not open lah, not open. So what happened? Bila dia nak blow down tu, dia vibrate. And the vibrate extensive enough, the piping parted. You see how? Of course, there are multiple barrier fail, and for that case, one of it, the OP was not followed. So as easy as that. Perhaps before this, tak apa, vibrate pun tak patah, and so we feel complacent. There's a reason, because of to open the valve takes, I'm not sure, it's manually, there's a reason lah why they don't do it, not follow as per OP. We challenge the OP. I don't think so we need this, because previously no problem, can work, still work. So until one thing happen, and then we blame the OP. Okay?
Dia dekat PGP.
Oh, ni dekat PGB?
Momen. Tanjung Sudut.
Oh,
Set.
okay.
Hello.
Tanjung
Sulung
Sudut Sepatutnya. KSP.
KSP.
PGP.
So I'm not sure how, but maybe lah dia punya air blower lambat ke apa ke, not as per recommended in the OP. Yang atas tu same like the Bekok C. These are the contributing factor. It was not inspected, dah corroded and so on. OP said on the blower something lah to switch from low speed to high speed was not done. Done perfectly, mix, perfect ingredient for this incident. Okay. Mechanical integrity, we talk so much when about the SEE. How we identify the SEE, we talk about FASI and so on lah. We talk about critical activities, process, performance standard, competent person, and also competency. Okay. So basically, mechanical integrity talking about how we maintain the SEE. So how the best way we want to check mechanical integrity is to do the verification. Number one, check where is the critical activities. So reliability propose. Okay, bagus. You has identified. Next, check did we register all in the SAP. It's no point you identify but it was not cascaded. In your first you identify 100, but in your SAP only 70 tasks. Where's the other 30 tasks? That's number two. Same with the SAP, check how you guide them to do this. Is there any check sheet or whatnot? Number four, look at the SAP, is there any overdue? Okay, or no overdue? Okay, cantik, all green. Next, those, okay, we need to embrace the red, challenge the green kan. So those yang green tu, is there any evidence? Where is the evidence that you do? Is there any check sheet attached to the system? If no attachment, most likely is just a tick, 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 tick. Okay, dah buat. But are you sure dah buat? What are the evidence? Any evidence? So that is how when the external auditor came, they will check on that thing. Okay. Okay, Bhopal, again, talking about SEE ni, of course, is not mentally maintain it properly. Okay. So for Bhopal tu, but before the SEE, one of the thing is Bhopal, the main cause is because they should not use water or something. So to fast the...
S2 lah.
Yalah, because of dia nak fastkan benda tu, they introduce water. So that water react to that and then it produce that H2S. That's one thing lah. Okay. I'm not really sure what the SCE lah with regard to Bhopal ni. But what I remembered because of they introduced water. Okay. Perhaps maybe one of it is to control the release of the gas. Kan? Macam case study tu, pressure release valve. Maybe it was not maintained. Or maybe like Bunga Alpina, it lock open. Instead of it should be closed, it was lock open. Okay, you introduce water and then produce H2S, but we still have multiple barrier. Any MAH have multiple barrier. Perhaps dia pun ikat juga to fast the process kan. Without their thinking that when they introduce water with this and produce H2S. Okay. So anyone know detail about Bhopal? Okay. Alright, design integrity. This what I mentioned earlier is very limited exposure kan. Tapi if you really aware lah on your plan kan, ada saja FIP changes, new unit, new equipment introduced. That also part of design integrity. Although maybe not really contribute to MAH, tapi at least you can consider. For example, one of example that I experienced at T-Gas, suddenly they want to introduce pump inside the drain pit. Drain pit is in the pit lah. So you want to introduce pump lah, for drain pump lah. So pump, you need to prime the pump. So in order to prime the pump, someone need to go down, fill up some liquid, and then okay, this is a method for you to maintain your pump. Kalau tak, pump tu boleh jalan juga, cuma dia akan senang rosak. So the question is, kenapa tak letak pump tu di sini? Mudah. So you no need to apply confined space entry, ventilation or what not. Oh, bila kita dah prime nanti, dia akan flush keluar. Dan buatlah flushing dia masuk balik dalam. Contoh as easy as that. Although this is not MAH, but we can always look back at the design in term of, for me as a safety, of course I more look at safety angle lah. But for sure, yeah. Tapi bang, benda ni memang selalu berlaku. Bila kita dah cerita nampak macam ni, tapi kalau kita tak intervene, orang buat macam tu. Take example SSGP, the big project. You cross the river, ni turun bukit, naik bukit, ini river, ini bukit. Bila berlaku LOPC, salahkan landslide. Ada apa, boulder semua langgar. But at the first place, takkan you tak ada letak protection armor and so on. Kan, you just put gabion tau yang tu kan, yang dah YFC, itu saja. Because why? We are dealing with cost. So of course, orang akan propose something that more cheaper. Ini costing, piping, panjang semua, letak je lah kat situ. Kau nak drain kat sini kan? Yeah, but please show us how to make it safe. If cannot, of course this is legal requirement, have to apply CSE, although they put ventilation or whatnot. Then better put here. We need to challenge bang. This is our, I'm not sure lah why currently Petronas I dulu kontraktor tau. Kalau I silap buat sikit, Petronas will not pay. I nak pergi vessel berlayar, something not ready, they will not pay the daily charter rate. Tapi sekarang, as a TP, you kena sign this MOC fast. If not, we have to pay buta-buta kapal. Why we have to pay? The vessel is not ready. They provide the document late. You ask me to sign ISO cepat-cepat because of nak takut nanti kapal dah kat site tak boleh buat tak boleh buat kerja. I tak faham. And now is another culture that I saw. We heavily rely to contractor. SGP ni, okay, what is your suggestion? Oh, okay, cost. Okay, we take this one. We did not challenge them at all. This is something that I think maybe because lack of TTS. Tak ada TTS, tak cukup.
Kami nampak lah.
Ha?
Pas kami diangkat ke projek baru ni.
Ha.
Baru ni. So yang kami cuba cari, kami nampak sekarang is waktu SOW.
Okay,
SOW dia tie dengan payment milestone kan.
alright.
So waktu SOW, kata impact dia akan ada VO.
Betul? Itu strategi dia.
Yes. That's strategi contractor.
Yeah.
So sekarang kita cuba di kami CJ ni kami punya, nama saya purposely masuk ke dalam tu sebab kita tak nak ada VO. So cara dia first kali is SOW tu.
Scope of work tu.
SOW kadang Petronas punya culture ni dia hantar P1 kadang-kadang nak challenge dengan kontraktor yang dah 20 tahun Petronas tu.
Yalah.
Memang kena telan lah.
Betul.
P1 apa yang kita expect?
Exactly.
Betul tak?
Betul.
Kan nak rendahkan P1 ni kena lagi anak bosu nangis lah kena jeling dengan kontraktor memang koyak lah.
Kontraktor pula ex-Petronas.
Kontraktor pula atas tu penasihat VP, ex-VP.
Aduh. Ya.
Betul tak? Benda dia berlaku. Memang berlaku.
Exactly.
Sekarang. Exactly.
Betul.
Same. So sekarang kita take dia di SOW. SOW di GP ia akan tengok apa soal kita punya. GP tak akan buat SOW. Tak akan buat.
Betul.
Betul tak? Dapat kita patut dia komen buat pura-pura pandai. Contoh, sorry tu silap. Banyak lagi tu komennya. Tapi dia punya komen jadi add on tau. Bagus. Lepas tu, kalau kalah di SOW, dia tu keluar VO tu.
Yep.
Kontraktor dia nak VO.
Betul. So, just imagine you beli rumah, you bayar 1 juta. Sampai pipe pecah, ni tak betul, ni sengit. Okay, nanti kita raise VO. Tuan kena bayar lagi. Apa hal aku kena bayar ni? That's how weird we are now. I think we can open talk lah because semua Petronas kan.
Yes.
And then, pernah dengar tak? Someone receive PPA 1 recognition. Kenapa? Kita introduce new sesi online ke something. This guy managed to reduce VO from 700 to 400. Wow, well done. Reduce. But the first place, kenapa ada VO? Kenapa ada VO? But we recognize now. I say, so funny lah now. I'm not sure lah. I hope that if you have some awareness on this one, it's not that kita nak lawan bertumbuk, but at least challenge.
Challenge tu.
Challenge them.
Kena kontraktor yang, sorry tu silap, kontraktor yang memang tak tahu selok-belok, ex-Petronas lagi memang dia.
In our exhibit contract, clearly stated, legal requirement must be followed. So, kalau tiba-tiba kita kata, you kena pakai mask, you kena ambil vaksin. Okay, nanti kita apply VO lah. You punya lifting kena requirement, kena ada supervisor. Oh, dalam kontrak tak sebut so kita VO. Come on, this is legal requirement. I suruh you buat lifting, to do lifting, you should do it safely and follow legal. That's why in Exhibit 1, clearly mentioned, comply. Memang I dulu kontraktor teruk kena. Tapi now I don't know why we simply, in our contract hasn't mentioned this lah. It's legal requirement. That's something to think of. I hope that, especially during design. Because if we did not design it correctly, we will suffer. Until now, macam SSGP, mau tutup sudah. To close. The VO keep on coming. Non-stop. Become permanent operation to deal with rectification lah. Punch list tu endless. The punch list endless. We have a new department. They call it punch list department. That's how worse we are lah. I hope that when I look, incident happened at Pengerang, I have the same feeling. Kan? Is it we are so bad? We thought that the cheapest one is the best solution. That is our current mindset. SSGP, the lowest, banyak ni nak luahkan ni. The lowest one, 60%. What I heard lah, 60% from the second lowest. And then, the management said, it's okay. If any VO, so we expect VO. Any VO, 40% can cover. Now, how much the cost? Bas. Dah lebih dah. Jangan cakap lah pasal 40% tu. Banyak tau. Dekat Myanmar, sama juga. We take the lowest is 50% or 60%. Range macam tu juga. Contractor from India juga. And Myanmar government very smart. Okay, Petronas is your call, your risk, but we will cap. Dia cakap, cap kita macam ni je lah. I will not pay if more than that. So what happened is more than that, and the cost bear by us. Kita yang kena. Okay, so again lah, design it right. That's number one. Design it right. Okay. I nak komen banyak pasal P1 tu, tapi nanti dulu.
Banyak cerita, especially yang projek yang
PLTA, as I mentioned before, do not make us as their experiment or lab test training ground or whatnot. If possible lah, they should provide a proven, at least at other location. Although they have their proprietary, what are the ingredient, fine. But number one, it must be proven by other location. That's, for me, I consider that safe enough. And for example, okay, bang, you have car, right? I have new lubricant. You put into your car, it's based on water. Okay, you add into your fuel, your car can travel 1,000. Can you expose? This is secret. If not, you will copy. Okay, fine. So how you want to do? You dare to put in your car? Cannot lah kan? You must show testimony. Who else? Oh, Khairul have used it. Oh, okay. And then 100 people already use it. And then I check. Khairul, okay? Okay, the car really can extend 100 kilometer by 1 liter this water. I don't know what the water. Okay lah. Ada semput, karat, corroded. Okay, everything smooth. For me, that is the best way lah if we dealing with PLTA. Okay. Anyone deal with PLTA? Want to share anything? Of course, the process usually they provide proper documentation, everything. My concern is the one that I mentioned, when they do hot tapping, when they do clamping, when they do water bedding. You know water bedding, they cannot isolate, so they introduce, we have equipment that for do water bedding and so on lah. That's in upstream that I encountered lah. For vessel, aeroplane, airborne survey, they don't want to disclose what are the equipment inside. Okay, but our concern is the aeroplane. The aeroplane, okay, we can provide. Fair. Maybe they don't want to disclose what are the, I don't know what equipment, one of during my inspect kan. It's okay, as long as is there any radiation impact to the workers and no Petronas workers on board, okay. It's okay, right. QRA, kita balik pukul berapa Sekarang. Okay, QRA. What's the difference between QRA? Kita nak stop sekejap ke? Or you nak sambung enggak? Rasa? Nak balik airport dah? Alright. QRA. Okay, risk. What is risk assessment? Easy. Risk assessment. RA is likelihood times severity. What is likelihood for QRA is quantified, so it must be quantified, quantity. So the likelihood is based on the failure rate. So we refer to British standard. In Malaysia, we refer to British standard. Every material, what are the material, how long, the length, types, they have the failure rate. Okay. Severity, we refer to what are the consequence modeling for process safety. Jet fire, pool fire, toxic release, explosion, all those things lah. So this time this, then we can get QRA. Okay, habis. But of course, it's not that easy lah, kan? To conduct QRA, you have to do, to get this failure rate ni, you have to do parts counting. How itu, it's very tedious. You need to refer to the PNID line by line, and so on lah. Okay. So for the severity, is based on the consequence modeling. So when they do the calculation, put in the software, it compute, it will get one figure. That figure, when they times to the people, then they get what are the risks for individual per year. The first is personal life loss, PLL. They can get the PLL, personal life loss, and the IRPA is the risk, individual risk per annum. So tak ada. So because this is quantified, at the end what we want is, have you see this alap triangle yang terbalik tu? Nah kan, tengok kan? Merah, hijau, kuning. Kuning, hijau. Hijau tengah. Di sebelah. So these are for for the workers, this for public. There are certain figure. Based on this computation, it compute and we get the figure. Let's say A is at the red region. What need to do? Letak recommendation ke? Tak boleh. So you need to look back at your design. Perhaps the failure rate we must reduce. How? Change the material. Instead of 1 inch thickness, make it 2 inch. Wah, tebal. 1 mm to 2 mm. Instead of carbon steel, change to what? The better material for piping? Stainless steel. And so on. So, after you change, instead of so many elbow, you change into how many line? You reduce it. And then it compute again. Then it's go to green. That is QRA. It's not same as when we conduct hazard, or is merah, and then recommendation, and then turunkan ke A2. That one is okay lah, hazard occupational safety. But for QRA, it must be quantified. Kalau you merah, so what you need to do? Maybe reduce the manpower. Instead of sand, maybe reduce to how many? I'm not sure. And or you increase, you change the material, the design, and then do again the calculation. And reduce the volume of liquid. Instead of 10,000 liter volume, change it to only 8,000. Calculate everything. Process. Instead of you introduce something that required 20 degrees, maybe we use something that 5 degrees, something like that. Then you calculate and then we get. Okay? Pas? Sorry, laju ni. Elsa mau ni. Okay, ni kita dah sentuh. Okay, the last one. Ada modul 6, but modul 6 I wait. So for emergency management, there's only 2. I guess nothing much for me to say here. Okay, the most important, the most important for MAH is satu is on-site response and another one is off-site response. off-site response. What is on-site? What is off-site? On-site is our internal risk assessment. Mesti respond team. Plan. You must have. Kan? Second, what are the off-site? Hospital, ambulance, bomber, nearby, firefighting, fire department or whatnot. That should be included in your SIMA. Okay? Your public services. Itu wajib ada. Memang kena ada dalam you punya SIMA. Kalau tak, you tak lepas lah. Okay? And also, certain communities, dia ada their own response juga. Kan? Polis bantuan dan sebagainya. Any question here? Yeah?
Kalau kita dah list down all the offsite punya
Aha. Offsite. Offsite, okay.
tapi tak adequate. Macam contoh kita buat plan dekat rural ni kan. So the nearest bomber is 200 km away.
Okay.
So will it be considered as
Alright. So, and the facility is away from the public service. How does it SIMA DG approve or not? So, if at the rural, the main objective of SIMA adalah kita nak protect the community. So, it's subject to what are the surrounding. Kalau surrounding tu tak ada apa, selamat, sebagainya, it's okay, no problem. You should emphasize on because you tak perlu pakai untuk jaga orang lain. Offsite ni bukan saja untuk jaga you tau, macam bunga alpina. Orang kampung nak rely kepada siapa? Bomber ni. You need bomber. So that is the main thing of offsite. Of course, dia orang pun boleh bantu kita, especially when it reach MKN site. Itu maybe need to be considered lah. MKN is betul ke? Majlis Keselamatan Negara. MKN, okay. So certain facilities is so important in Malaysia, so it's considered as MKN. There is an assessment by MKN to identify this. So that MKN selalunya akan ada nearby lah. So for example, Parker, kita tak ada bomber. So that's why kita ada SAF. So SAF tu dia covered semua. So I hope that, itulah, I pun tak pernah lagi ada kena reject. Ini you punya offsite ni jauh ni. Tapi I believe if rural, tak ada community, tak apalah bomber lambat pun. Bomber pun bukan kisah kau punya terbakar. Kan? Kalau kereta you terbakar tepi highway, you rasa bomber buat apa? Dia biar saja. Bomber objective is to protect from impact to the other asset. Because the method is biarkan habis fuel tu. Nanti habis fuel tu, padamlah dia. Dia takkan padamkan. No point, dia padamkan, dia masih panas, nanti terbakar balik. Selalunya dia, kalau rumah terbakar pun, selalunya the operation, emergency operation method is to protect the surrounding. Cooling and so on, supaya tak merebak. Okay, after dah okay dah tu, baru dia padamkan lah, sejukkan and so on. And because rumah terbakar tu pernah berdiri tak sebelah berapa besar api bahang dia tu. Panas tu. You nak hantar satu bomber, dua bomber tak padam. Bomber datang tu just to protect supaya dia tak terbakar the surrounding. That's all.
Last kena potong hos.
Apa dia?
Hos bomber kena potong.
Hos bomber kena potong.
Kemarin